7 minutes. Please. Okay, we have a German here. Is it working?
Yeah? Okay, perfect. Hello everybody. We're Joana and Georg from the Greater Europe Media Watchblog, a project that was inaugurated 3 months ago only in Paris during a project competition. So please bear with us if we don't have a massive list of sponsors yet. To say it in one sentence, we are a media watchblog and we aim to critically analyze cross-European mainstream media output on the EU-Russia relationships and to deconstruct and identify means of bias and propaganda, which is partisan reporting, partisan news. So, to quickly guide us through what we're going to show you today in these 6 minutes, we're going to start with identifying the problem, like which I already kind of told you, to tell you the solutions, the mechanisms we contrive to combat these problems, and in the end to give you like a brief operational overview of how we, of how business actually will function. So, we are living in turbulent times. We see that the groundbreaking achievements of decades of diplomatic, civic, and political cooperation between the EU and Russia are increasingly put at risk by the recent diplomatic crisis. And unfortunately, we perceive mainstream media to be a particular driver of this destructive dynamic. And so, what we try is to actually address this media partisanship and to find strategies to kind of make media, operate in a better way.
Now I'll quickly try to explain how we decided to address this issue, and we believe that the problem is not that there's not enough information available, it's not the amount of information that's available, it's actually how the polarized information, the totally polarized information is working. And so newsreaders kind of get lost in how it works. And for this, we decided it would be better, instead of creating news articles and reports, to actually not add to the media noise and create a watch blog. And we will be looking, we started already, we will be looking into major mainstream European media outlets. Our country editors will be writing critical reviews on mainstream news articles on EU and Russia relations. And actually, the problem is we want to highlight factual inaccuracies and stylistic means of bias, and that's our main goal. But why should people look into our blog in order to find more objective information? So for this, to enable the greatest possible analytical precision and journalistic objectivity, we decided to design this transnational editing procedure. So it's a cross-national editing procedure where we have a country editor writing an English article. He's looking into a news article and he's writing a critical review on a specific news article. And then this, after it's written, it's randomly assigned to another country editor from another country. And we will be looking into factual accuracy. He will be looking into factual accuracy, into stylistic eloquence, sorry. And he will also be looking to tackle cultural subjectivity that exists all the time. So this 6I system that we have first, a country editor, and then we have the second one. For example, we would have a Russian editor then being reviewed by a Ukrainian one. And this system works, our main purpose is to actually develop a dialectic discussion of events, facts, and ideas. And we want to provide you with the highest possible objectivity and empirical truth. That's our main goal.
So, and pursuing this objective, we want to actually also highlight regional and national differences in media partisanship. So what we have here, for example, is an article from a Russian outlet, Pravda.ru, which talks about the Russian military and its capacity in a global perspective, saying that Russian superiority lies rooted in the fundamentally stronger morale of its troops. And so I quote I quote what the newspaper writes here. In early 2014, a Su-34 simulated an attack on USS Vicksburg, which is a US Army ship. There was no electronic impact shown on the vessel, but the Americans failed to activate the air defense system. Over 20 Marines resigned as a result of the incident. This was quickly rebuked, like after just one day, by Stop Fake, simply because the degree of factual inaccuracy was so blatant that it was rather simple to kind of refute these news. But let us now turn towards a German piece of news, treating the Russian incineration of contraband food under the recent sanction regimes. And in this article, the Spiegel author, Spiegel is a very influential German newspaper, says ISIS rebels and Somalian rebels, they too tend to burn food, like foreign food. And I quote, Putin too has arranged the destruction of food from the West by decree. The article goes on saying that this is actually a symptom of state failure and accuses Russia of barbarism. So why are we showing this? Why are we showing this to you? There are differences in the way the West and East, so to say, addresses media partisanship, addresses this problem, and there's different ways of complexity of ownership structures of the media that really transpose into a different way that we have to deal with this propaganda. So rather than focusing just on Russia, we think we need to focus on the entire European media landscape and to highlight the differences and the different dangers that emanate both from the western and the eastern part of propaganda. So yeah, our Kranti editors come from Portugal to Russia, to Ukraine, to Belarus, to actually cover the whole European media landscape. So now quickly into the operator stage of what we do. I will quickly talk about the financing, highlight our short operational goals, and then ending up on our long-term objectives. So what we have here is simply our financing structure. We have in phase 1 donations, crowdfunding, grants, Kickstarter, and banner advertisement, chronologically starting with Kickstarter, crowdfunding, and later evidently banner. In the second phase, our revenues will also include fundraising events and conferences, as well as syndication, so paid content, paywalls, and in-depth articles. And this is just quickly a financial slide for you to understand. In revenue, so far we project to have in year 1 30K, opposed to expenditures of about 40,000. The gap of 11,000 we are confident we can get from like-minded organizations. And this is also the reason why we're here, evidently.
Now, quickly, we will aim to create this multi-outreach strategy, and we will work with SEO, CM, and AdWords and AdSense, and Facebook and Twitter. And now, really, really quickly.
30 seconds.
Okay, then we want to outreach through several ways, through advertisement in university campuses and conferences. And this would be, we have to create a website, and we have to have the professional help of web developers and web designers. Quickly, it's really important that we create and develop a really strong readership that will be doing how we explained you. And in the beginning, we will have to work with volunteers. Then we will be aiming to pay around 20 euros per article to our country editors, and then by 2018 we aim to actually recruit country editors.
So just to sum up, so our goal is to contribute to the civic education and diplomatic education of the European populace, to fight for media freedom and to show what propaganda does, how it works, and how it actually is detrimental to a greater Europe.